All right, for example 3, it says one plane flew 390 kilometers with help of a tailwind in twice the amount of time that another plane flew 180 kilometers against the headwind. If each plane can fly 500 kilometers per hour in still air, find the rate of the tailwind. So tailwind is when you have the wind blowing behind the plane, which is helping push it along. So when you have tailwind, it's going to increase the speed. The wind is helping out the plane. When you have headwind, that means you're flying against the wind. Picture if you're running and it's windy and the wind's smacking you in the face. The air is hitting you in the face, so it's going to slow you down. So when I make my chart here, I'm going to go tailwind in the top. Doesn't matter if you go tailwind or headwind in the top, because we're talking about the tailwind and we're talking about the headwind. So we say for this one, we'll go rate, time, distance. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It says the plane flew 390 kilometers with the help of tailwind. So I'm going to put 390 for the distance so far. And then it says in twice the amount of time another plane flew 180 miles per hour. So I'm going to put 180 down here. Now it does say twice the amount of time. So that means that you're going to have to multiply the time by 2 at some point, but let's get everything else in this question first. It says each plane can fly at 500 kilometers per hour in still air. That means without any wind. So I know I'm starting out with 500 kilometers for each one. Now the headwind or the tailwind is getting the help. So I'm going to say plus W. That's making the rate increase. It's going faster. The headwind is getting hurt by the wind. So that's going to be 500 minus W. Now we're all set up. We have everything we need, so we know we can solve for T here. However, we need to remember that it said twice the amount of time. So I'm going to do time equals distance over rate so far. Or real quick, that means 390 over 500 plus W. And I'm going to go 180 over 500 plus W. Or minus W, sorry. So we have that. But now remember, it said that the plane that had the tailwind traveled 390 kilometers in twice the amount of time. So that means that I need to take this plane, I need to double the time so that we can now set them equal. Because this plane was only in the air for half the amount of time. So if I double this one, then they were in the air for the same amount of time. Now you could also divide the first one by 2 rather than multiplying the second one by 2, but I think it's easier to multiply than divide. So when we set this up, now we can set them equal because we were able to get their times to be equal. Because we said this, we doubled it, so now they're in the air for the same amount of time. So my equation is going to go, 390 over 500 plus W equals, and then I'm going to multiply this into the top now, and I'm going to make it, 2 times 180, which is 360 over 500 minus W. And then we'll just solve this like normal. Here you can cross multiply. So I have 390 times 500 minus W. And you can pause this if you have to complete the calculations. You guys should be able to solve this from here. 500 plus W. Distribute, I get 195,000, I'm sorry. Minus 390W equals 180,000 plus 360W. We'll solve this out like normal. I'm going to add 390W to both sides. I'm going to subtract 180,000 from both sides. That gets me 15,000 equals 750W. Divide by 750, and you get 20. Now 20 is your W. That is the wind, or the speed of the wind. Now this question says if each plane can fly 500 kilometers per hour in still air, find the rate of the tailwind. So the rate of the tailwind or the wind that's helping us out, we're going to say here is 20 kilometers per hour. That would be the same as the rate as the headwind also.